One of the most common questions asked of improvising musicians is, what are you thinking about when you're playing? I've had folks ask me that sort of question on gigs. I've certainly had a lot of students ask me that. And so I wanted to talk about it. This actually comes, this is a little section out of the String Theories book that I co-wrote with Ethan Sherman. So one of the most common questions asked of improvising musicians is, what are you thinking about when you're playing? Let's start by listing some thoughts that we don't have, or at least try not to have, when we are playing or performing. Okay, so the chord is D minor 7th. The Dorian mode goes good with D minor 7th. Now I'll play D Dorian in 7th position, starting on the G string. Or, look out for that chromatic 2-5-1 you always miss. Or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That refers to picking. Mid-play, be it on stage or anywhere else, is not the time to be thinking about music in such a mechanical sense. It's like trying to solve a puzzle in the middle of a song, which will have you constantly playing catch-up to everything that's happening around you. That's a reactive state, and while it's good to be reactive to your fellow musicians, you also want to be proactive, instigating your own ideas and bringing your unique self to the music. As real as the mechanics of music may be, it's better to save your analysis for the practice room. When you're on stage, you have bigger concerns, such as flow and keeping the ideas moving forward and connecting with the other people you are playing with and connecting with the audience that you're playing for. In the moment, you may end up playing plenty of stuff that's impractically fingered or doesn't follow a particular picking scheme, and that's okay. Going for it is good. Some people have said it's best not to think about anything at all while you're playing. But like anything else, that takes practice. If you can't stop yourself from thinking, here are a few prompts to help you get out of your head. Pick a word and play musical ideas that describe that word. Don't use musical words like diminished or pentatonic, but descriptive, colorful language like blue or staggered or concrete. That's one prompt. Here's another. Play in opposites. Try 4 bars in one mood and 4 bars in another. This could happen in a static harmonic setting. That's like where you have just 1 or 2 chords, or could be over a song form where the harmony is more involved. Here's another prompt. Set a limitation. Play a whole chorus of blues in 1 octave. A chorus of blues just means 12 bars. So play 12 bars of a 12-bar blues in 1 octave. Restrict yourself to any pair of strings. Play a particular interval and only that interval. An interval could be like a third or a fifth or a sixth or something. Or hit the 9 on every chord. Like if the chord was C7, hit the D, which is the 9, and so on. So that's another kind of way of thinking. Set a limitation. Here's one more prompt. Play a phrase literally. Like think of a few words and speak them in your head over and over. That could be like tying my shoes, or just some, simple, a few words like that. And then play the rhythm that you're speaking. Tying my shoes, tying my shoes, tying my shoes. Play that on the guitar. Playing these games gives you specific goals to move toward, but they're different from goals that relate to playing the right scale, arpeggio, or lick. Consider the way that a non-musician thinks about music. A typical audience member who's not a trained musician is going to talk about how a performance made them feel, or describe it in terms of the contours or the narrative. I mean, even that would be pretty hip. Usually, if people aren't musicians and I talk to them after the show, I'm always delighted by the things that they reflect back at me, what they notice. It's very, very, very rarely does it have anything to do with the mechanics of music. So keep that in mind as you move your own music forward. You can always go back to thinking about music in a nuts and bolts way. The truth is, if you already know that stuff, it's probably not going to go away. So that's thinking about thinking from String Theories.